Roll call. Robin?
Harley Joseph.
Here.
Chris Zoe.
Here.
Buell England.
Here.
Bill John Baker.
Here.
Jack Baker.
Here.
Julia Coates. Here. Bradley Cobb.
Honey.
Joe Crittenden. Jody Fishinghawk. Meredith Brady. Here. Janelle Fulbright. Here. Don Garvin. Hannah Gloria Jordan. Curtis Snell. David Jordan. Sarah Cowan Watts.
Honey.
We have a quorum. I want to welcome everybody out this afternoon. I think we know everybody in the audience. So, do I hear approval for minutes to the November 17th regular meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Sorry, Brad, but you had a comment, I think, about
No,
the
I
minutes.
was after this vote. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yes, I recognize Councilor Cobb.
I'd like to amend the agenda and add a report as number 6 under reports, community service, and Nights Group.
I hear a motion to add that to the agenda. I hear a second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Mr. Becker.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I would like to make a motion to amend the agenda to add item 1 under new business for a request from the principal chief for $14,000 for the angel tree because they're short that much this year.
Second.
A motion's made and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. So the commerce will be report number 6, and the angel tree will be number 1 under new business. I've had some discussion about the felon report that we had last month. I'm going to ask Norma Merriman to include that in her report today. So if you would, Norma, we'll just move right on to your department right now.
Good afternoon and happy holiday,
Hello.
everyone.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
I'll start with this. I had promised that we'd have the brochure, and I think we got it finally finished on Friday. It doesn't look like it'd take that long, but there's some steps it has to go through for approval, so we had to get that taken care of. Actually, I've got to move it for myself. Sorry. Okay, I can do that. Ms. Cowan asked for a copy by email. I'll be happy to send that to you so you can reproduce these yourself if you would like to do that. I'd like to give you just a short explanation on what we're doing in regard to reintegration or reentry, however you happen to phrase it. You're all aware that we don't have a program for folks who are coming out of prisons or institutions per se. But several of us who work with many of those people who come back come primarily to human services or career services. Not that they don't go other places, but we seem to be the first places they come to, probably health as well. So we, in the last year, have tried to do something to make it easier for them so they won't be bounced around all over the place because they're coming in at some disadvantages anyway. So what we've done is, one, is to do a brochure. This brochure is very generic or global in the way that it's presented because we have to evaluate, just like with anybody else, we have to evaluate them individually. But this will give folks a starting place, if you will. On the inside, it will tell you the documents that are required for service. This is not all-inclusive, but these are pretty much the basic documents that if someone comes with, they're going to be ahead of the game. It also tells them how to get a CDIB or blue card because many of the people that we come in contact with don't have that. So, and of course, that's one of the first things they're going to have to get. I've tried to include those services that they might, and I underline might, be eligible for. I have eliminated some, not even put them on there, the ones that I know they would not be, because there are some programs that when you have come out of an institution, you're probably not going to be considered for. So this is a starting place. It gives them all of the health centers and hospitals which they would be eligible for, and it gives them some jurisdictional boundary information and contact names. So that, and these are going to be distributed to what I call the pre-release counselors at the institutions. I don't know that that's their official name, it probably isn't. But the ones who work with the men and women before they come back into the communities. We will be sending these out, some of them may have already gone out, to those contacts that we have made, and they can hand these to our Cherokee citizens who are coming back home, so that they'll come equipped a little bit better than they have, and at least have some names where they can contact us. We'll know what they're talking about, and we can guide them a little bit better. The other thing that we've done is that I have one staff on my service that I've sent to several of the conferences and meetings that some of the tribes that do have an official program put on from time to time. And that's how we've developed our contacts. So we are trying to do something without having a program or a funded source to do this. And obviously we've been dealing with these folks for a long time. We serve them daily. But this may just help folks to get around a little bit better in our system. Yes, sir.
Ms. Fishing Hawk.
Oh, no.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
I meant when she's
I saw the mail
question
in
on that
first.
this
You have a question, Ms. Philbright?
Yes, thank you. Are felons allowed in the day work program?
As far as I know, they are, yes.
Thank you.
And I think they do. I know for health they do a real cursory screening. And I think some other of the programs have asked for that same screening where we've been a little concerned, probably where there's children and things like that.
Mr. Thorne.
What was actually, I was looking at, I like this is me. That really gives out a lot of information to them. But one of the things I really was looking at was something Janelle brought up, and that's how would these people go about applying for work for the nation? How would they be able to work for the nation? Also, how would they apply for rehabs on housing and those type of things? And I think that's mainly what they're interested in.
Okay. There's nothing, this is what a fairly direct quote from Michael Botello is that, there's no reason they can't make application, and there may be some jobs that are open to them. But I will tell you that a great number of the jobs in the Cherokee Nation are considered youth sensitive. And if you have been involved with drugs, violence, several things, you're going to be eliminated immediately from those. And that's a protection, and we need to be glad about that. Many of these people who get out aren't that far away in time from when they did the deed, okay? So we have to be very careful about where they're placed. But there are certainly things that they can do if it's there's a job opening where they could. In my warehouses, like in...
Is there any way we can get some listings of what they can do and what they can't?
I can ask Mr. Patello to get those for you.
That would be great. And
Then on your other...
on
Probably
rehab,
a David
housing, that
question.
type of thing.
The rehab counselor apply exactly like anyone else. Staff, they process it when they get the background check back. They have some criteria they go by. We want the staff to go by that criteria, and if it falls into that, they're going to deny them, but they will give them an opportunity for a review. And right now it's 2 levels. One is kind of on the director level to check it out to see if there's, what had happened in the past, if there's indication that there's a way to wiggle room. I'll just say it, wiggle room. And if not, then it comes to me. Now, I can't remember exactly. You all been presented the new or what's in the draft format right now, the drug policy and the 2-step process. Okay, so you're familiar a little bit. I haven't formally changed the rehab policy or got the chief and Melanie to sign off on that yet. I'm waiting on that to become official, but it'll go through that same process. It's to be evaluated by some of Norman's folks. I think it's called a multidisciplinary team, whereas folks that deal with this every day. Instead of having me who deal with it, once every 4 or 5 months. So they get a little bit of review, and I've actually got one, and I'm doing that right now in the process. It's Sequoia County.
I think I know a couple that you're probably helping right now in Sequoia County.
And they're,
That's the main thing, this kind of thing right here, a brochure, telling them what they can do, what they can't do, what you will, what you won't. That would be great.
yeah.
If we could come out with something like that, we know where we stand.
It's tough to do everyone the same. That's,
Yeah, I know.
that's why we're reviewing them case by case. But this particular one, waiting on the young lady, she's supposed to give me some information, some letters of support, and then I'm going to go down to Norma's office and say, hey, I need y'all to review this, and because again, I deal with it once every 6 months, and they deal with it every day. So I think we can get a good recommendation off of that.
Okay, thank you, David.
Let me just say that this brochure is primarily for those folks who are just coming back home. The policies that we have on background checks probably applies mostly, that right now we're seeing is for folks who have probably, maybe they've never even been incarcerated, but they have a lot of charges, or they've been out of incarceration for multiple years. So that gives us a little more flexibility when we review. If they had a charge when they were, 20 years ago, and they've had nothing happen since that time, and they've gone through all the recommendations such as anger management, maybe other types of counseling, and they've done that, then there are sometimes we can, work them back into these programs.
Yes.
To rehab these individuals, apparently, state and federal government and us or whoever, we're failing because these people are getting out and going right back here.
We are.
And it costing us a tremendous amount of funding to do that. And also, from what I believe myself, is that it's costing the nation funding for their families to keep them going while they're incarcerated here.
Right.
And, I don't know, there's been a lot smarter people than me trying to turn this around, but I think if we've got some way that we could help them, and that going to work with this bonding program would be something we could include in our criteria for putting these people back to job, back to work and a job.
There's the bonding criteria, and then there's a relatively new, and I can't really quote it that well, but there is a new driver's license program. Remember the old farm-to-market driver's license they had at one time for kids who were working on the farm but they weren't 16 yet? It's very much like that for folks who are have been released, and if they have a job, they can go from their home to work and back.
Yeah, Norma, we're gonna take a break for about a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back in. Ask the council members to come back in, because we don't want to lose the quorum. So if you step out front here, we've got some picture taking we want to get done real quick, then we'll come back.
Okay.
About 5 minutes, take about 5 minutes.